Here we're now looking at example number 2. Let's call it part B. So you guys saw that, I bet you looked ahead and you said, that's a quotient. I bet that he's going to show us a quotient rule for integrals. There isn't one. Really? So how are we going to do this? Well, fortunately, algebra will come to the rescue. We're lucky here that there's only one term on the bottom. And so really, and I'm going to do some quick rewrite of this before we even touch calculus, just algebra. Yes, since there's only one term on the bottom, we can apply it to each one. So x to the 5th divided by x to the 3rd would be x squared. And then 2 over x cubed, I would suggest you would write as 2x to the negative 3rd power. So those should be some really quick rewrite things that we've been practicing multiple times throughout the semester. If you were going to find the derivative of this, I hope you would have done that as well. It's just algebra. All right? So far, we should be able to manipulate these to where we have terms and powers, because that's the only derivative rule or integral rule that we have at our disposal at this point in time. Now, what if we're not lucky enough to have one term on the bottom? Don't worry about it yet. We're going to get to a thing called substitution when that day comes. That'll be a different technique for integration. So anyway, if we apply the power rule to each one of these, we now have x to the 3rd over 3, n plus 1, plus 2x to the negative 2 over negative 2. Coefficient carries over, add 1, divide. All right. And then this, look, this math symbol is gone because we just did that math operation. We found the antiderivative of these expressions. And therefore it gets replaced with the symbol we use in math for, now it's time to evaluate, time to stick the numbers in and crunch. I would suggest before you do that, that you might, it jumped out to me that second term kind of looks all messy. So let's do some things here. What's positive 2 divided by negative 2? Negative 1. And wouldn't this x go underneath because it had negative power? So I highly suggest rewriting that, and that'll make it easier to plug the numbers in. So it looks like that's the expression, and then we'll go put 4 in there, and then we'll put 1 in there, and then we'll subtract them. It's important that you do the 4 first, minus the 1. All right? You told me earlier it's okay. I'm going to do it now. So I understand. I'm waving my hands in the air and saying, do this. Stick the numbers in and crunch them. That's just arithmetic. We don't have time for that. I'll waste that time ranting about how we don't have time for it. All right? And so anyway, when we go stick those numbers into that expression, it looks like we would get 21.9375. So yeah, I got to be a snob when we get to just the arithmetic and just the algebra, and that's just the way it is. So I know you guys are accustomed to that. That's how it goes.